What made you give up on your sister? The night my sister first told me she wanted my house was the night the air changed between us. She arrived without calling, which wasn't unusual, but there was something in her face that unsettled me. Her 3 kids, ages 9, 7, and 5, sat silently in the living room, their backpacks at their feet. Rough night? I asked gently, motioning toward the kitchen. Do you want tea? She didn't answer. She was busy walking through the house like a real estate agent doing a final inspection. Her fingers brushed against the curtains I had picked out last summer, the farmhouse table my husband and I had saved up for, the throw pillows I had arranged just that morning. This house, she said finally, her voice low, almost reverent. This is exactly how I would have done mine if I had the chance. I smiled, thinking she was complimenting me. Thanks. It took years to get here, but I'm really proud of it. She turned then, and I saw the anger in her eyes. You built this with me in mind. I frowned. What? No. You knew what I wanted. You knew I wanted a house with an open kitchen, a big family room, light walls, this exact layout, and you went ahead and built it. Like you were mocking me? I was too stunned to speak for a moment. You think I built an entire house just to make you feel bad? Yes, she snapped. Yes, because you've always had to prove you're one step ahead of me. First the wedding, then the career, now this. It's like you're living my life better than me. Her voice cracked then, and for the first time, I saw tears in her eyes. I just lost my marriage, she whispered. I just told my kids we're not going back home. And then I walk in here, and it feels like you stole the home I was supposed to have. My chest ached for her, but anger rose too. You can stay here for a while, I said, trying to keep my voice calm. You and the kids can use the guest room until you figure things out. But she shook her head. I don't just want to stay here. I want this house. Our childhood was full of competition. We were only 2 years apart, which meant every milestone was a race. Who got better grades? Who made the school play? Who got invited to whose birthday party? Mom always told us we'd thank each other one day for pushing each other to do better. But now, as I sat on my porch the next morning, watching the sun rise, I wondered if she had been wrong. When we were kids, my sister used to sketch her dream house. She'd draw a 2-story home with a porch swing and a big kitchen. I'd sit next to her, doodling my own version. Somehow, she always saw it as copying. I thought about those drawings when the letter from her lawyer arrived a week later. Plaintiff claims emotional distress, my husband read aloud, his voice hardening with every word. She alleges that the defendant deliberately designed and furnished her house in a manner that replicates the plaintiff's stated preferences, causing psychological harm. I grabbed the letter from him. She's taking me to court over decor. She's trying to force you to give her the house, my husband said quietly. She's asking the court to compel you to vacate. I laughed, a short, bitter sound. She can't be serious. But she was. The courthouse was cold and sterile, but the tension between us burned. She looked small sitting at her table, but her lawyer was sharp, confident. When it was her turn to speak, she painted a picture of a woman who had lost everything, her marriage, her stability, her dream home, only to watch her sister flaunt the very life she once wanted. She knew what she was doing when she built that house, my sister said, her voice breaking. She knew how much I wanted a place like that. I talked about it for years. And she went and built my dream. Now I have nowhere to go, and she refuses to give me and my children a home. Her lawyer nodded solemnly, as if this were an airtight case. When it was our turn, my lawyer was calm and precise. Your Honor, we have receipts, architectural plans, and dated correspondence, with the contractors proving that this house was in planning long before the plaintiff's divorce. The defendant is under no legal obligation to give up her home simply because the plaintiff feels entitled to it. My sister glared at me then, her face flushed. You could have let me have this one thing. She shouted suddenly, standing up. You've taken everything else. You knew what you were doing when you chose that kitchen. The judge banged the gavel. Order. The courtroom went silent, but my heart kept pounding. 2 weeks later, we returned to hear the decision. The court finds that the defendant is the sole legal owner of the property. The judge said firmly, the plaintiff has no legal claim to the house and no right to compel the defendant to vacate. My knees felt weak with relief, but then I saw my sister's face. There was no acceptance, no resignation, just a cold, sharp pain in her eyes. She stood, grabbed her bag, and walked out. I wanted to run after her to tell her it didn't have to be this way. But my husband put a hand on my shoulder. She needs time, he said gently. That night, I sat in the living room, staring at the walls. The house felt different now. Not warm, not safe. It felt like the center of a war one never wanted to fight. Weeks passed. My sister didn't call. My nieces and nephew didn't come by anymore. Mom tried to play peacemaker, but my sister wouldn't even speak to her about me. One night, just as I was about to go to bed, my phone buzzed. I hate you for what you did, the message read. But I hate myself more for making you my enemy. I sat on the edge of the bed for a long time before replying. I never wanted to be your enemy. The door is still open, but not if it means losing myself. She didn't reply. I put my phone down and walked into the living room. The house was quiet, almost too quiet. I ran my hand along the walls, the same walls we had fought over in court. Yes, it was still my dream home. But dreams feel different when they cost you someone you love. Maybe one day she'd forgive me. Maybe one day she'd sit at this kitchen table again. And we'd talk about more than walls and furniture. Until then, the house would stand, not as a trophy, but as a reminder that some battles leave scars that no amount of paint can cover.